economic trends. And you can say, oh, well, since then he's shorted the British pound. We have people short markets all the time. Shorting a market is just betting against it. So you don't control the market, but if you're the one guy with a lot of money who's saying, hey, we should short this, then a lot of other people might follow suit and they short it as well. And then all of a sudden the market collapses. Is that you say, oh, well, I'm going to make a lot of money off of these other people's suffering? Or is that just you taking advantage of an already piss poor situation? The way George Soros makes his money is the way lots of people make their money in times of economic crisis. There's nothing immoral about it. There's nothing wrong about it. There's nothing illegal about it. There are people who are blind to facts of reality and people who are not blind to facts of reality. George Soros is someone who is not. So he used that knowledge in order to gain the system. That's not his fault. That's not wrong. That's smart. Now, since then, obviously, George Soros has given tremendous sums of money to Democratic politicians, and he's backed things like Media Matters for America and the Open Society, and he's backed different groups in different parts of the world. And backed things that I and you and many people may disagree with. That does not mean that he is a member of the New World Order. And if Joe Rogan says, hey, Alex Jones is a little off on George Soros, then Alex Jones goes off saying, if you don't, you're just an establishment shill. I don't know who told you to say that. I don't think anybody told Joe Rogan to say anything. Joe Rogan is a smart guy. He probably just did his research, but he comes at, Alex Jones is a perfect example of confirmation bias. He wants something to be true, so he will find enough facts that support him that make him true and ignore any facts to the contrary. Phrases will come out of his mouth that make things seem radically different than they are. If you listen to I listened to both Alex Jones going off on Joe Rogan, and then I also listened to Joe Rogan's interview with Dave Rubin. And if you listen to the two of them, one right after the other, it doesn't even matter which order it's in, you can clearly see that Alex Jones is attacking Joe Rogan over basically nothing. He's overreacting, and it's childish. The reason I bring this up, the greater reason, is that I think that this is a real problem with America, where we think that if anyone disagrees with you, if anyone reads something and then comes to a different conclusion that you do, they are the enemy. They're not necessarily the enemy. And in fact, when conservatives say, hey, when conservatives disagree with liberals, conservatives say the liberals are wrong. They're misinformed. They're uneducated. They're ignorant to some facts that I know. When liberals disagree with conservatives, they say they're evil, they're racist, they're Nazis. Alex Jones is one of the people who says, if you disagree with me, you're in on it. You're a shill, you're a collaborator, you're a globalist. If you don't agree with me 100% of the time, then, how dare you? Really? Those guys have known each other for 20 years, and to go off on someone like that on a radio show, I think is incredibly unprofessional and unkind to people who you claim are your friends. Disagreements are just that. Disagreements. That's it. No need to read into it. The simplest explanation is most often the correct explanation. Thank you for listening so far. Follow me on Twitter at Tim_Preuss, Preuss, and follow us on Instagram at Preuss Podcast. We'll be back after a short break. Stick around. Have you ever tried those superfood powders that every other radio host has been trying to sell you? Gross. They claim to give you vital nutrients, but damn, they taste awful. Luckily, I've discovered Detox Organics. It's dairy-free, soy-free, 100% organic, and vegan-friendly. There isn't anything in it that will mess up your insides, and there's a ton in it that will help your body and mind perform at their best. The best thing about Detox? It seriously tastes like chocolate milk. Visit detoxorganics.com and enter promo code PREUSS, P-R-E-U-S-S, to save 15% today. That's detoxorganics.com, promo code PREUSS.
Hey guys, Josh Lewis here, host of the Saving Elephants podcast, with a message for all you liberty-loving listeners out there. If you're a fan of Tim's show because you like in-depth and independent analysis of the week's news, free from left-wing bias, then I'd bet you enjoy checking out Saving Elephants. While everyone else is talking about current events, we're focused on non-current events. That's right, we're talking about the things that matter to our ancestors, and why they still matter to millennials today. You'll get better acquainted with conservative thinkers from long ago without having to read some long, boring book they wrote, and you'll be better equipped to put today's news in a broader historical context, teaching you how to better think for yourself. Because isn't that better than having someone else do your thinking for you? Join us as we reignite conservatism for millennials. You can find us at savingelefantsblog.com. That's savingelefantsblog.com.
What does freedom mean? Tune in to LRN.FM to find out. LRN.FM is the Liberty Radio Network, a collection of live talk radio and podcasts, all coming from a principled pro-liberty perspective. LRN.FM show hosts aren't left, right, or conspiracy kooks. You can tune in 24/7 to LRN.FM via your phone, computer, satellite, and more. Listen free anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Sometimes it makes me wanna blow my fucking head off.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
The Tim Preuss podcast is for a mature audience. It may contain adult language, sexual content, and politically incorrect commentary. Listener discretion is advised.
Broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun, you're listening to the Tim Preuss podcast. Rate, review, subscribe, and turn it up. He's back.
The Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keenan, the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, June 28th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.03 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,251 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $17, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,121. Antiwar.com reports Russian officials confirmed on Wednesday that a deal had been reached on holding a summit between President Trump and President Putin. Though the two have met twice on the sideline of international events, this will be the first direct summit with the Russian leader of Trump's time in office. Officials have said a date and time are set, but what they are has yet to be made public. Reports have suggested it will take place in the next few weeks, however, and will be in a third country, with Helsinki, Finland suggested as a probable location. With allegations still swirling about Russian meddling in the 2016 election, President Trump has been very cautious with his diplomatic ties with Russian officials. This has meant that despite substantial issues to be addressed, the U.S. has much less engagement with Russia than in years past. John Bolton, who was in Moscow negotiating the summit, says that President Trump will be raising a full range of issues during the summit. He downplayed the significance of the meeting, saying he did not view the summit as anything unusual, which normally wouldn't be. U.S. and Russian presidents have met quite often. That Trump has not done so formally in the last 18 months is much more unusual, however, and the political circus still swirling around the election will likely make the summit controversial, particularly for Trump's political opponents. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. UPI reports after weeks of negotiations and a last-minute Twitter endorsement by President Donald Trump, the House on Wednesday rejected the GOP's compromise immigration bill. The bill was rejected by a vote of 121 to 301, which was well short of the 218 votes needed to pass. No Democrats voted for the bill. Earlier Wednesday, Trump had urged House Republicans to back the bill despite telling them last week to wait until after midterm elections to bother with any reform measures. Under the proposal, children who cross the border with parents or other adult guardians in violation of immigration laws would no longer be separated, an issue that stirred significant controversy last week and led to a presidential order and federal court ruling. The bill would have required children to be released after 20 days, still apart from parents who continued to be detained. Unaccompanied children would be returned to their home countries. Included in the bill was nearly $25 billion for a border wall on the U.S.-Mexico border, a project sharply opposed by Democrats, but Trump had said it was required for his signature. The bill would have also allowed a path to citizenship for 3.6 million DACA recipients, or Dreamers. Democrats, though, said the bill would have made that path much more difficult. The Cato Institute estimated eligibility restrictions in the bill would only result in about 12% of Dreamers becoming U.S. citizens. Last week, Republican leaders in the House rescheduled the vote on Ryan's moderate version after rejecting a more conservative proposal. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the U.S. Supreme Court on Wednesday dealt a blow to organized labor, ruling that non-members cannot be forced in certain states to pay fees to unions representing public employees such as teachers and police, shutting off a key union revenue source. The 5-4 ruling overturned a 1977 Supreme Court precedent that had permitted these so-called agency fees, which have been collected from millions of workers who opt not to join unions in lieu of union dues to fund non-political activities such as collective bargaining. The court's conservative justices were in the majority, with the liberal justices dissenting. In the majority ruling authored by Justice Samuel Alito, the court said forcing non-members to pay these fees to unions whose views they may oppose violates their rights to free speech and free association under the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment. Alito wrote states and public sector unions may no longer extract agency fees from non-consenting employees. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Japan grants suffrage to female robots, and a hypochondriac maple tree is always convinced it has Asian longhorn beetles. The following two statements are true. The previous statement is false, and this is the Onion Week in Review. This week, Americans nationwide were stunned to hear horrific allegations on Wall Street revealing that numerous junior bankers have been forced to survive on a mere $6,800 per week. The findings, which implicate numerous high-profile financial institutions such as Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, and Citibank, suggest that hundreds of first-year bankers are constantly deprived of basic necessities, including penthouse apartments overlooking Central Park and regular company-financed vacations to the French Riviera.
Many of these bankers are 23 or 24 years old and don't even have access to an expense account of over $50,000 a year. Not only that, but some of them are making as little as 20 times minimum wage. I mean, this is truly disgraceful.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Computers are online. I'm gonna start loading software.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Call to Freedom.
Broadcasting live from Vertcoin Studios on LRN FM.
You're listening to Will.
You will listen to every damn word I have to say!
And Aria.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Stay tuned for political talk and everything crypto. That's right.
Broadcasting internationally on our BitPlus network satellite.
This is
The Call to Freedom.
All right, let's boot it up.
That's right. It's time for the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Welcome here. I am Will Coley, your host as always, joined in studio this afternoon by the Queen of Crypto herself, Miss Aria DiMezzo from CryptocurrencyCheck.org. How you doing today, Aria?
I'm doing great. How are you?
It's rainy and wet. And I want to get my hat order in, and I can't wait to get the new store set up, and we're going to be taking Motion Coin, and I'm disappointed that I can't put AnyPay on a website because
I'm sure Steven could actually write you something that could do it.
Yeah, but he's more interested in direct point of sale, so
true.
It will be nice.
Technically, we would be a direct point of sale.
It would be. It'll be nice when he gets enough of the apps out there in the world that he's like, okay, now I'll let you put it on a website. You can stop having to use the crap services that already exist. I'll just put a QR code up there, I guess. You can email.
You'd have to verify each order manually if you did that.
I mean, we're not Walmart. I'm not expecting people to be beating the door down. We're selling HODL hats and buy the fudge shirts, you know? I mean,
true.
It's a niche market.
Growing niche, though.
Growing niche, yes, but I'm going to service it as long as I can, and then when we need to do bigger and better, we'll burn that bridge when we get there, I guess.
Sounds
so
good.
It is an interesting, scary, and hilarious day in the news. We've got the right showing that they have their very own little Antifa. This one is this one instead of threatening old ladies and free speech activists and alt-right goons, this one threatens private businesses and the private businesses that serve that private business because they choose not to do business with politicians that they like.
I mean, what I love is, the irony of this.
Yeah.
Just months ago, they were fighting for the right of private business owners to refuse service to people they didn't like.
They were just celebrating the fact that the SCOTUS sided with them like a week ago.
Yeah,
and here they are.
Like, oh no, this is unacceptable.
Yeah, well,
she can't be refused service because of her beliefs.
Well, you can refuse someone's service if they're gay, but you can't refuse someone's service if they like Trump.
Yeah,
because
if they're a worthless, lying Republican.
Yeah,
yeah. They can be the best, most exemplary human being on the planet, but they're gay, so you can refuse them service. But they can be a complete dirtbag. Like just about anybody who would be in the Trump administration, but no, you have to serve them.
I think this kind of speaks to the change of the caliber of the discussion and rhetoric in our country. When I was first moving to Tennessee, I'm going to say like 2011, maybe 2012, there was a state representative there who was who's still a friend of mine. They called him "Don't Say Gay" Stacey Campfield. And he had the Don't Say Gay bill, which was so ridiculous it ended up on The Daily Show. And basically it was a bill where you couldn't acknowledge that homosexuality existed in a school setting.
I think I remember that.
Right? Okay. So, and he was refused service at a local business, a local like burrito shop or something, like two lesbians make burritos kind of place,
Right.
And they were like, no, we don't want to give you service. And that made the news. And then it went away, like Stacey didn't really, well, first of all, Stacey had enough class to be like, well, they don't want to give me service, then
eat somewhere else.
I'll eat somewhere else, and that was it because he was also the only Republican to vote against the anti-Sharia bill because he read the bill and noticed that it had nothing at all to do with Sharia and was literally copy-pasted the Patriot Act at the state level.
Oh,
and
fun.
he read the bill, and he even stood in the state house and was like, anyone who supports this bill because you've got a problem with Muslims is being snowed. Because this bill has nothing to do with Muslims. It has nothing to do with Sharia. It has nothing to do with protecting American laws or American courts. This is the Patriot Act. And he held it up and he's reading quotations from it and then reading quotations from the Patriot Act. And they're literally, and there's even places in the bill where it says, see U.S. code, blah, blah, blah. And it's referring you to the Patriot Act.
Wow.
So he had
did that bill pass?
And he even voted for Trump. Yes, it passed. He voted for Trump. He was a Trump delegate, and even he had the class then to say, businesses have a right to serve who they want. Now he's a lunatic. What
an interesting switch. I mean, according to you, he used to be willing to stand on whatever misguided principles he may have had. And now
the rhetoric in the country has changed completely. I mean, the left is at war, the right is at war, and they're not at war with America's enemies. They're at war with each other.
Hey, burn it down, guys. Go for it. Let's encourage it and make it happen.
The problem is most of the time they end up pointing that crap at us, too.
True.
So I guess we'll go ahead and we'll hit this story first then. The Red Hen restaurant in Lexington has now closed due to protests and threats of physical violence. All hell broke loose on the otherwise sleepy town in the downtown area of Lexington, Virginia on Tuesday, thanks to the firestorm surrounding the owner of the Red Hen restaurant turning away Sarah Huckabee Sanders and her family Saturday night. The restaurant is closed on Sunday and Monday, so Tuesday dinner service was the first time the restaurant would have normally been open since the controversy broke. The Red Hen had planned to open at 5 as scheduled. However, after both protesters and supporters of the business began showing up hours earlier in the afternoon, the restaurant...
I thought we might have been talking about 5 in the morning. I was just shocked that people were up protesting, but it's 5 in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Says the restaurant remained dark throughout the evening. Initially, the Washington Post reported that it was just 2 men holding up Trump banners and a Confederate flag, but eventually that crowd grew so thick that police were forced to actually close off the street.
Okay, hey man, if you own a restaurant and you're going to make a stand like that, stand by it. Don't just, oh no, this attracted controversial attention. That's not what we were trying to do, but yes, it was.
One gentleman of clearly extraordinary intelligence showed up with a bucket full of chicken manure and was promptly arrested after dumping it on the front of the restaurant. When we get back here in just a little while, we actually have the news report from the local news station about the local farmer who poured chicken manure all over the front of a Red Hen restaurant, because that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, should we really expect any less? These are the same people that throw bacon at mosques, swing pigs' heads on poles at children, and then claim to be victims when the parents of those children react. Should we really be expecting anything different than childish nonsense, throwing buckets of chicken manure on a building because they didn't serve your favorite slave owner?
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment, it gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement, and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Right outside this lazy summer home.
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live from the Zencash studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire, and it is another beautiful day in the Shire. We've been talking about this story here. The right has shown us its own inability to have someone say, you know what, we're just not going to do business with you. The whole, right of freedom of association, which the right has been crowing about and being eroded over the course of the last, oh my God, I can't tell a black person that I won't serve him in my store. So freedom is just, it's destroyed. It's over. It's done. Well, but you're not gonna. Oh no, you absolutely can't. No.
Well, I mean, didn't they make the LGBT thing mostly a matter of religious freedom?
Well, yeah. Shouldn't this be political freedom? Or is that what it is? Freedom of association, religious freedom, it's like Gary Johnson said, religious freedom is a black hole, but that's the only place freedom of association can be invoked.
Yeah, good point. I mean, not Gary Johnson's. I meant the original point you made where this is political freedom. I just had to, let the wheels turn on it a moment.
For me, it's property rights. It's my property.
Well,
I don't want you here. Get the hell out.
Republicans didn't make that argument.
Yeah, they didn't because they don't care about property rights.
No, because then they can't use their eminent domain and
well, I'll be a summa humma. Check this out. Chris Cantwell is calling.
It's not Chris Cantwell.
No, it's Chris Cantwell. Hold on, let me find the unmute.
That Dewey dude?
There we go. Are you there? Hello? Let's see. Hello? No? I'm not getting him.
Is it that Dewey dude?
No, it's not the Dewey dude. It's Chris.
It's
Chris. I think it's his Telegram, but it's not. I don't think Telegram is hooked up to. I mean, it's not.
Call through Discord, man.
For real, call through the Discord because I've got the phone unmuted. I've got the lexicons for the Hangouts and the Telegram. Everything is unmuted, and I still can't hear Chris.
Or through Skype at
for real, yo.
LRN.FM.
Yeah, just call through the Discord. That was odd.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So we're gonna play this local news story.
Right now, protesters and police continue to line the street in front of the Lexington restaurant that's become a lightning rod for the past few days. Since the owner of the Red Hen asked White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders to leave last Friday night, people have been flocking to the city of Lexington. 10 News reporter Magdala Lusant is live there tonight. Magdala, we saw one man being arrested at 5, so what's happened since then?
Well, right now, Washington Street has opened since then. It was closed for about an hour, and now traffic is coming through here. There are still a few protesters here. They're pretty much quiet, and across the street are people who are just here looking. The Red Hen was supposed to open about an hour ago for the first time since Sarah Huckabee Sanders was asked to leave, starting a firestorm of political debate. But from the looks of it, the restaurant remains closed. Today, we learned the owner, Stephanie Wilkinson, resigned as executive director of Main Street Lexington. In an email sent out to business owners today, Wilkinson resigned because of this past weekend's event and felt it was best for Main Street Lexington to succeed as she stepped down. All day, people traveling through the Commonwealth have stopped by to take pictures of the restaurant. Those here to boycott the restaurant say they want to encourage people not to eat here.
I can't wait to eat there on my way going south.
Capitalist country, if you want their business, take it. If not, close your business down and go somewhere else.
Well, I might not have done the same thing, but God works in mysterious ways. And I think, again, that this is to bring attention to the huge difference in how Charlottesville was handled.
You know, it also reminds me of Chick-fil-A.
The man who threw manure at the building is charged with disorderly conduct. The police chief tells me they will be out here until everyone leaves. Now, we did call and reach out to the mayor, Frank Friedman, and he told us he wouldn't speak to us on camera, but he does encourage people to still come out here and visit Lexington. Live in Lexington, Magdala Lusant, 10 News, working for you.
This is too hilarious. I'm sorry. It's just too funny to me. Like, okay, you were just 2 weeks ago flipping out because the left said you got to make cakes for gay people.
Not to mention how they support Chick-fil-A because of their political affiliations.
For real, yo.
And
so
they
I mean,
get mad at boycotts of Chick-fil-A.
It's situational Leninism, man. Republican, Democrat
alike. Well, it's
alike.
being unable to take what they dish out.
It's that situational Leninism. The whole concept behind situational Leninism is that it's all everything I do is righteous, and everything my opponent done is literally Hitler. Oh wait, that gives me an idea for a song.
Everyone I don't like is literally Hitler, literally Hitler, literally Hitler. Everyone I don't like is literally Hitler. Let's have a look and see. You got Donald Trump, PewDiePie, and Pepe the Frog. Hand signs, free speech, follow Godwin's law. Pro-life conservatives, grammar police, white men, YouTubers,
So yeah, everyone I don't like. It's like the left's new theme song. It's definitely our new theme song, but only because it's absolutely hilarious.
Sad but
I
true.
want to play it on the air every day.
Unfortunately, we won't get the chance tomorrow because the drama this week in the Libertarian Party is actually no one calling someone else a Nazi.
No, it's Stinky Finger.
We could play Stink Fist.
Yes! Oh my God, we'll play. We'll have to find a remix though. But yeah, we'll play Stink Fist. Oh my God, that's so perfect.
That is perfect.
It is.
Unfortunately, we're not talking about that until 6 p.m. tomorrow. So
hey, we could even talk about James Maynard Keynes getting in trouble for trying to screw a 17-year-old girl, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be true.
Okay. Well, then who cares?
Yeah.
Some chick, whatever. Who cares? Anyway. Anyway,
I eat Chick-fil-A. I don't really like it, and I don't see what the big appeal is. I don't see why people are all in love with Chick-fil-A. I mean, it's chicken, It's fast food chicken. What do you expect?
It's not. It's expensive fast food chicken.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when we get back here, we're going to be continuing on. It would seem that the left has learned absolutely nothing from their spanking that they got earlier back in 2016. They're going to do a little bit more of the same stupid crap they've done before. We'll get into what we're talking about when we get back.
Jordan Peterson, Nazi. Gamergate, Nazi. Feminist, Nazi. Shakespeare plays, Nazi. Barack Obama, Nazi. George W. Bush, Nazi. Bill Clinton, Nazi. Ronald Reagan, Nazi. Yeah, everyone I hate is a literal Nazi.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live from our Zencast studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire, and we've been discussing the Red Hen in Lexington, Virginia. I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to stop there and eat on my way south. We're going to be leaving New Hampshire on Saturday morning. We're going to be going south to see my sister. My baby sister is supposed to have a baby on Monday, and my father had a stroke about a month ago, so we're going to go down and see all of them for a couple of weeks. Aria and Tom are going to be holding it down while I'm out of town. We're going to be switching the nights around a little bit. Chris will be coming in on Thursdays instead of on Tuesday to keep a full staff on each night. But don't worry, we will definitely still be here. You will just be missing my big mouth for a few days. Lucky you.
Well, you can probably call in on some of those days.
I could if I wanted.
True.
yeah, you heard that last part. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna go down to Florida, do some water park, and then see my dad and spend a few days there, and the new baby, and my daughter has a baby as well, so we're going to see her while we're down there and deal with all that fun, family stuff.
Yeah.
But then we'll be back. So we were talking about Red Hen, and then I, of course, said, if they're being boycotted for freedom of association, it's every libertarian's job to go eat there. If you live in Virginia and you're a libertarian, whether you agree with her position on Trump or not, it's your job to go eat there now. To be philosophically consistent, you need to go and support her business, because she is being boycotted for freedom for exercising freedom of association. If you went and bought bullets from the guy who put the no Muslim sign up at his place, then you need to be eating from this woman's store. If you went and donated $5 to the guy who wouldn't bake the gay wedding cake, or if you refuse to support Gary Johnson because of his bake the damn cake, then you need to be eating at this restaurant.
Yeah.
If you live in Virginia and you're a libertarian, I would say go eat there.
If you're a Republican and you live in Virginia because you made more noise than libertarians did about the bake the damn cake thing.
For real, yo. I mean, if you're going to be philosophically consistent. Oh, wait, I forgot. We're talking about Republicans here. The whole reason why most people left the GOP was a complete lack of philosophical consistency. And guess what? You know what? I think I figured out what's going on with Cantwell. Cantwell, because I'm seeing, I guess there's a conversation that Cantwell's having with Ian on Telegram, and he tried to call. Oh. And that's why I couldn't get an answer from him, was because you can't talk on Telegram on this computer. It's set up so that Ian can talk to him on the phone, because they're continuing the conversation. The little boxes keep popping up. So he wasn't trying to call us. He was trying to call somebody else. Right? What a shame. Anyway, we wanted to move on to another topic that I find absolutely hilarious, and that is it's being reported by USA Today. And instead of I'll just put it out. Just, you know what? Let's let them tell you.
Guards of the Democratic Party are leading the pack of potential 2020 presidential candidates in a new poll. Former Vice President Joe Biden.
He's trying to tell us he cares about the middle class. Give me a break. That's a bunch of malarkey.
And 2016 nominee Hillary Clinton.
He is not just unprepared. He is temperamentally unfit to hold an office that requires knowledge, stability, and immense responsibility.
Biden tops the Harvard Capps-Harris poll, with 32% of Democrats saying they want the former VP, and 18% want Clinton. Hillary's rival in the Democratic primary last go-around, Bernie Sanders, came in third with 16%. Now, Biden and Sanders both have hinted at another White House bid, while Clinton has given no indication that she will run for a third time. This all comes as Trump went off on Clinton at a rally in North Dakota.
If our opponent, our wonderful opponent, when is she going to get over it?
Meanwhile, Trump and Biden have also gone back and forth over who could beat each other up.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Step aside, Donald Trump.
That's right. That's right.
We totally need to make that happen.
You got to hear this. Crazy Joe Biden is trying to act like a tough guy. Actually, he's weak, both mentally and physically. And yet he threatens me for the second time with physical assault. He doesn't know me, but he would go down hard and fast, crying all the way. Don't threaten people, Joe. That was back in March of this year.
American politics, man. We have the President of the United States threatening back someone.
Well, this is in response to Joe Biden's statement. If we were in high school, I'd take Trump behind the gym.
Right. Still, it's sad how childish it
bring
is
back
that they're acting like they're in high school.
I say bring back the duels with pistols.
Yes.
Let's settle this like Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton.
Absolutely. And because America wins if they happen to kill each other.
Well, even if only one of them dies, America can win once or America can win twice. If they kill each other, America wins twice. Yeah. If either one of them shoots the other one, America, there's literally the only way America doesn't win is if they miss each other and then they become friends and then work together to destroy the America instead of separately.
I mean, which is what a lot of this is political theater and grandstanding and just, putting on a show.
Trump was in the WWF. He knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Clearly. Literally. He was literally in the WWF. Yeah. He knows how to do this.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what modern politics is in
America.
Theater. It's theater.
It's all
Republicans
theater.
And Democrats don't really hate each other. And they don't really ideologically oppose each other. And they're always willing to work together to make sure that bombs are paid for and that food stamps are paid for. The animosity there is largely just pretense.
Says here Biden considered running in 2016, but he decided against it because he didn't think he could defeat Clinton, because he was still grieving after he lost his son, Beau Biden, to brain cancer.
We also had Gary Johnson and Bill Weld, so we had milquetoast covered that election.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't need Joe.
We didn't need Joe. Creepy Joe. Among other Democrats included in the poll, Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey got 6%. Former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg got 3%. Senator Kamala Harris got 2%. And Kristen Gillibrand and New York Governor Andrew Cuomo each got 1%. Another 12% said they preferred candidates that were not among the names listed.
How many percent?
12. So one
Seems
out
about right.
1 out of 10 Democrats didn't like any of the options that were given. And this is a Harvard poll. So like, who are they actually polling here?
I would imagine the college students.
Harvard CAPS Harris poll. Caps Harris. Harvard Caps Harris June poll. Obtained by The Hill.
Well, I mean, the numbers are completely useless. The same people were
Well,
just
yeah,
giving us the numbers in the election.
didn't Hillary
and they
have
were
like a
all wrong.
95% chance of winning?
Yeah, the morning of the election.
Yeah.
95% chance. And I hate Trump, but I do love that video of, people like the Young Turks and things like that, and how they just become more and more crestfallen throughout the day as they broadcast the election results.
As reality set in that their candidate sucks.
Until they're finally devolved into like panic attacks and anxiety attacks. It's great.
Screaming and crying on television. No! Anyway, we'll be back with more news when we get back.
Are you sick of government lackeys who say you didn't build that? Are you tired of elitists who think you need a government permission slip for everything? Everything you do is an A to B conversation, and the government should see their way out of it. Create true free markets by adopting the BIPCOT No Government License. The BIPCOT NoGov license allows use or modification of any product, service, or software except by governments or government agents. Go to BIPCOT.org. That's Bravo, India, Papa, Charlie, Oscar, Tango.org.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Republicans back a plan for universal lawn care, and an RC car works up the courage to approach a group of girls. And now a recap of the week's news for those who like to waste their summers surfing the internet. Fall, the long-running series of shorter days and cooler nights, was canceled this week after nearly 3 billion seasons on Earth. The classic period of the year, which once occupied the coveted slot between summer and winter, will be replaced by new stifling humidity levels and near-constant sunshine. A shiny, bobbing object in the water is generating fascination among members of the fish community, who have described it as pleasingly wiggly and minnow-esque. Aquatic experts say that decisive action must be taken against the object very soon. In local news, just when 27-year-old Andrew Sheets didn't think his vacation could get any better, a rerun of Spin City came on. And in other headlines, a bee stuck between the screen and front door is going f***ing nuts. And a water skier lets go of the crossbar to greet those not currently water skiing.
This is the Onion News Network.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.FM.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We've been talking about some. Well, let's see. We've got right wingers,
idiocy.
Right? Just right wingers flipping out because of the fact that they suddenly forgot what freedom of association is, and then now you've got the left who thinks that Biden and Clinton as a team in 2020 is a good idea.
It's a terrible idea.
Oh, no, it's a great idea.
I mean, yeah, if you want 4 more years of Trump.
It's an amazing idea. It's an amazingly stupid idea. Now, we've got even more. This is breaking news. There's been a shooting. There's been another shooting in Annapolis, in Annapolis, Maryland, at a newspaper, the Capital Gazette. We're going there live to hear what's going on.
What type of weapon was used in the shooting? So again, we have several questions that we know we need answers for the next briefing. So we anticipate having a briefing within another hour, and we'll make sure that we give that information then. At this time, that's all the information we have. We appreciate your cooperative
with police. Is he we have one more bit of information, and this is the last bit of information that we'll give to you until the next briefing. I anticipate another briefing very, very shortly. But there are 5 fatalities that we know of. There are several other persons that are gravely injured. We will have more information for you in the next briefing. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We'll be with you shortly.
Bring right up.
Governor, we'll get you guys a question.
All right, the first briefing wrapping up here, and at the very end of that briefing, the reporters and all of us got the information that we've been trying to get, which is on the numbers.
Acting Chief William Krampf reporting the number of fatalities. 5
fatalities from the shooting at the building on Bestgate Road, presumably at the Capital Gazette, at least according to the reporters at the Gazette, and several others.
So did you notice the one reporter, he just kept asking, like, what kind of gun was it? What kind of gun was it? What kind of gun was it? What kind of gun did he use?
Well, because he wanted to hear, oh, it was an AR-15.
Yeah, right. He's like, well, it was
with a chainsaw extension.
For real, with a chainsaw extension.
At the end of the news
attachment, excuse me.
Acting Chief
chainsaw bayonet.
5 fatalities that they know of, and several other.
So you got 5 fatalities.
I mean, that sucks. But
yeah, you got no idea what the motive is.
For some reason, did
you
not
got
want
one
to
person in
reveal that
custody.
Information, obviously, trying to reach out to family members whose
and
lives have forever.
They're saying that you have a bunch of other people who are quote gravely injured. So it's not a good thing going on in.
No, that's a terrible thing.
In Maryland at the moment.
They did apprehend the shooter, though, right?
They've got one shooter in custody. That is correct.
And,
that is correct.
You know, this is assuming a lot, but I would assume that a shooter, a gunman, a gun holder, a gun owner inside of the Gazette would have apprehended the shooter significantly sooner.
Yeah, but the liberal media doesn't like guns.
I don't care. I don't like them. So.
Yeah, but the reason they don't have guns is because the liberal media doesn't like guns. So, of course, they don't have them.
Oh, they're a liberal newspaper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they don't have guns. They have a big poster board out up front that says gun-free zone.
Yeah.
That's what they have.
Dear shooter, please come here.
Yep.
We're so
fish
gonna be,
in a barrel.
Right. We're going to be on CNN tomorrow. Insensitive radio show host.
No, we're not insensitive. We are trying to prevent this from happening again. And this is how you do it. Because, say there's a shooter, okay? Fine. You have to stop that person with the gun. Police have to travel to the scene, and then they have to get inside. By legalizing open carry, by restoring the Second Amendment at the very least, you have people already there who are inside with the guns. They don't have to travel there. They don't have to fight their way inside. They're there. They're armed. They can do exactly what the police do. And it's legal in the United States. It's called citizen arrest.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Stop this kind of crap from happening.
So I just found video of Pakistan's first transgendered media star. Her name is Marvia Malik, and she is. I mean, since we had Ali Salman on, I'm going to play this. This actually looks like it might be interesting.
Her name is Marvia Malik, and at 21 years old, she's breaking down barriers halfway around the world for transgender people.
एज अ मेकअप आर्टिस्ट काम किया, मेकअप का काम सीखा और काफ़ी अर्सा मेकअप करती रही सैलून्स में और उसके बाद मॉडलिंग की ऑफर हुई, मॉडलिंग की मैंने। मुझे पहले फैशन इंडस्ट्री में अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ मिली तो मैंने वहाँ पे भी हिस्ट्री कायम की, एज अ शो स्टॉपर परफॉर्म किया। उसके बाद मुझे न्यूज़ मीडिया इंडस्ट्री में अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली।
But the whole thing's in Urdu, so like only the people that are listening in Pakistan and Afghanistan understand any of it.
Yeah, I don't understand any of it. I mean, I want to say congrats to her, especially in that region.
For real, to be on television in Pakistan and be transgendered and still be alive.
Yeah, I would sell my soul to be 21 right now, though. I mean, there's such an enormous difference between Transit 21 and Transit 30 that Transit 30, most people wouldn't even bother.
Mm-hmm.
But kudos to her. That's good news.
Yeah, you've got a...
I mean, but, historically, like you said, until about 150 years ago, the Muslim community has always been fairly accepting of LGBT
There's
people.
a huge trans community in Malaysia and Indonesia. There's even a word in their language.
India has one as well.
For transgendered boys to girls, transgendered girls. So it's it's a modern cultural shift, so to speak, I guess you could say. You have transgendered prostitutes in Saudi Arabia.
I would say as part of that
today.
That modern misinterpreting of religious texts to fit their own socially conservative positions, because we have the same thing in Christianity, which I don't know, Tom will hate me for saying this, but it is hostile to LGBT people, but not on the whole. I mean, there is some hippie Jesus stuff in there that's like, hey, love your neighbor. Well, and I would argue that part is probably more important than, like Leviticus 7:20 or whatever it is. But none of that really matters when you're dealing with one of those types of people who have it in their heads that transsexuals and transgender people deserve to be, shot and killed. Because they're not really deriving that from the religious text. It's just used there to reinforce what they already believe. It's an example of using, well, how am I trying to phrase this? Leading the evidence to the conclusion instead of leading the conclusion to the, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say.
It's hard to formulate sentences like that when you're improvising it on the go.
Right. It's just I think it's a great thing to hear. Like it's just one more step in the right direction for Pakistan. The next thing I think really has got to be, there needs to be, and we actually, I've been advocating in media for reform, a public referendum on the blasphemy laws in Pakistan for almost 10 years now. I got involved in two cases.
I think
while
Ali
I was
mentioning
working.
that when he was here yesterday, was that, other than religious freedom, Pakistan isn't that bad as far as liberty goes.
Yeah.
And the corruption and the
economic freedom. Yeah, the economic freedom there is definitely greater than it is here as far
here
as
in the
licensure.
West, we ignorant people, we have this idea that they're all oppressed. Women can't leave the home by themselves. They can't drive cars, and they're all running around chopping off people's heads with machetes.
My wife says you wouldn't want to. That the men there are just such pigs. Like women here complain about sexism and misogyny, where there, if you're not out with another male, men just take it upon themselves to ogle. And even if you are, at times they take it upon themselves to ogle or to fondle or to bother you. And it's like here in America, if you did that to a man's wife, you'd get shot, or at least in the South.
Yeah,
you're gonna get shot.
Yeah, do not do that in the South.
Do not do that in the South. But for some reason, there seems to be this whole thing.
Definitely do not look at anyone's daughter.
No. Anyway, when we get back here, the FBI at a recent crypto conference divulged that there are over 130 open investigations involving cryptocurrencies. That's insane.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Boost Kid Essentials Nutritionally Complete Drink, providing your picky eater with essential nutrition and great taste in one drink. Visit us at kidessentials.com. To make sure your kids eat healthy, follow the 5-a-day plan. Serve 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit daily. Remember, a serving could just mean a piece of fruit or a half cup of veggies. If your kids are picky eaters, ask a nutritionist about other sources. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene, the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, June 28th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.03 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,251 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $17, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,121. Antiwar.com reports Russian officials confirmed on Wednesday that a deal had been reached on holding a summit between President Trump and President Putin. Though the two have met twice on the sideline of international events, this will be the first direct summit with the Russian leader of Trump's time in office. Officials have said a date and time are set, but what they are has yet to be made public. Reports have suggested it will take place in the next few weeks, however, and will be in a third country, with Helsinki, Finland suggested as a probable location. With allegations still swirling about Russian meddling in the 2016 election, President Trump has been very cautious with his diplomatic ties with Russian officials. This has meant that despite substantial issues to be addressed, the U.S. has much less engagement with Russia than in years past. John Bolton, who was in Moscow negotiating the summit, says that President Trump will be raising a full range of issues during the summit. He downplayed the significance of the meeting, saying he did not view the summit as anything unusual, which normally wouldn't be. U.S. and Russian presidents have met quite often. election. That Trump has not done so formally in the last 18 months is much more unusual, however, and the political circus still swirling around the election will likely make the summit controversial, particularly for Trump's political opponents. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. UPI reports after weeks of negotiations and a last-minute Twitter endorsement by President Donald Trump, the House on Wednesday rejected the GOP's compromise immigration bill. The bill was rejected by a vote of 121 to 301, which was well short of the 218 votes needed to pass. No Democrats voted for the bill. Earlier Wednesday, Trump had urged House Republicans to back the bill despite telling them last week to wait until after midterm elections to bother with any reform measures. Under the proposal, children who cross the border with parents or other adult guardians in violation of immigration laws would no longer be separated, an issue that stirred significant controversy last week and led to a presidential order and federal court ruling. The bill would have required children to be released after 20 days, still apart from parents who continued to be detained. Unaccompanied children would be returned to their home countries. Included in the bill was nearly $25 billion for a border wall on the U.S.-Mexico border, a project sharply opposed by Democrats, but Trump had said it was required for his signature. The bill would have also allowed a path to citizenship for 3.6 million DACA recipients, or Dreamers. Democrats, though, said the bill would have made that path much more difficult. The Cato Institute estimated eligibility restrictions in the bill would only result in about 12% of Dreamers becoming U.S. citizens. Last week, Republican leaders in the House rescheduled the vote on Ryan's moderate version after rejecting a more conservative proposal. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the U.S. Supreme Court on Wednesday dealt a blow to organized labor, ruling that non-members cannot be forced in certain states to pay fees to unions representing public employees such as teachers and police, shutting off a key union revenue source. The 5-4 ruling overturned a 1977 Supreme Court precedent that had permitted these so-called agency fees, which have been collected from millions of workers who opt not to join unions in lieu of union dues to fund non-political activities such as collective bargaining. The court's conservative justices were in the majority, with the liberal justices dissenting. In the majority ruling authored by Justice Samuel Alito, the court said forcing non-members to pay these fees to unions whose views they may oppose violates their rights to free speech and free association under the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment. Alito wrote states and public sector unions may no longer extract agency fees from non-consenting employees. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Despite a long-held consensus pointing to the mid-20s as the final stage of brain maturation, a new study has found that the adolescent brain doesn't fully form until boys have avenged their father's murder.
New imaging studies suggest that the frontal cortex goes through extensive changes during the period of training when an adolescent boy prepares himself to track down and kill the man who took his father's life. But it's not until the boy stares deep into the murderer's eyes and then stabs him right in the heart that the two lobes fuse into a fully mature brain.
According to Dr. Laurie's findings, the myelin surrounding the teenage nerve synapses develops when boys stake out the home of their father's murderer, put themselves through grueling physical training, and fantasize again and again about how satisfying it will be when he finally makes the bastard who took everything from him beg for his life.
Now, if they let their father's killer slip through their grasp, or if they press the barrel of a gun to the back of his head and then realize they don't have what it takes to pull the trigger, then the amygdala is definitively stunted, and they'll have lifelong problems interpreting emotional information.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Hold. Hold. Hold.
You better hold on for dear life, because it's time for the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, on the call to freedom.
That's right. It's time for the Crypto Hour here on this Thursday afternoon drive home broadcast of the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We've been talking about, well, Ari and I have been discussing these two articles that we're going to get into today. Both of them are definitely a little FUD for you here. And, me and mine.
Very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
So, first one, the FBI, an FBI agent has estimated over 130 crypto investigations are currently underway. So, U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigations is currently running over 130 different cryptocurrency-related investigations, Bloomberg reported on Wednesday. Excuse me. Now, the FBI supervisory specialist agent Kyle Armstrong told the Crypto Evolved conference in New York that the agency's running investigating a variety of crimes, including human trafficking, drug transactions, kidnapping, and ransomware, which have a cryptocurrency component.
Yeah, but ransomware no longer really exists. It's been about a year and a half since I did anything related to ransomware, because it's cheaper, more cost-effective, and easier for the people programming the ransomware to just, plant Monero mining scripts on websites to hack into people's servers and just steal their crypto directly. So ransomware became, it's got the wild card of whether or not the other person will pay. But if you can get directly into their wallet or do a 51% attack, you don't have to stress over that. It doesn't matter if they go, you know what, we're not paying that.
There's been a recent uptick in activity in cases involving cryptocurrencies, he said, citing opioids as one area that the Bureau needs to focus on.
Oh, that gave me a headache, man.
Roughly 10% of drug users worldwide purchase their drugs online in illegal digital marketplaces. Some parts of the U.S. have even seen an increase in extortion schemes where the perpetrators wish to use cryptocurrencies. That being said, these threat-tagged investigations only make up a small sliver of the thousands of cases that the agency has. And unlike crimes involving cash, Armstrong says that the blockchain's immutability makes it easier to track transactions.
Hit Bitcoin.
And on the flip side, cryptocurrency's anonymity or pseudonymity make it more difficult to properly investigate crimes.
I want to say this is why we are sponsored by Zencash and why we support Zencash, is they don't have that issue built into it.
Well,
that's a notorious issue with Bitcoin. It has no privacy, not anymore.
No, there is no privacy. Well, there really never was.
And even an HD wallet like Jax or Konami that give you a new address every time you receive it, there's no privacy there.
Yeah. Says
use something like Zencash with their cloaking technology or whatever they call it, because it's not cloaking.
Right. Armstrong is in charge of the FBI's Virtual Currency Initiative, which has been around for about 3 years. And while acknowledging that his agency, quote, takes a neutral view on digital tokens, he noted several pros and cons.
Hold on. When was Bitcoin created? When was the first block mined?
2009 or 10?
Okay, so they're 5 years behind.
Yeah.
It took them 5 years to go, hey, you know what?
Maybe we should acknowledge this, yeah.
I mean, that's hope. That is hope right there.
The news outlet conveyed and quoted him explaining that the FBI has noticed an increase in illegal activity facilitated by cryptocurrency payments.
No, you didn't. It just became easier to track because of Bitcoin's public ledger.
Right.
The amount of crime has stayed the same, only now it's safer because for so long they had the Silk Road, and there are still millions of marketplaces on the dark web where you can buy MDMA and crack and opioids and whatever else. So it reduced the amount of crime overall.
Well, I would like to acknowledge that the news.bitcoin.com article is far more in depth and has much more detail than the CoinDesk article had. In the budget request for fiscal year 2018, the FBI asked for 80 positions and $21.6 million to improve its investigative technology to combat cybercrime. The agency noted, some of our criminal investigations face the challenge of identifying online pedophiles who hide their crimes and identities behind layers of anonymizing technologies, or drug traffickers who use virtual currencies to obscure their transactions.
Let me say again, as an IT person, that we don't need the FBI digging into IT security. Malwarebytes has that covered. Super Anti-Spyware has that covered. Kaspersky Labs has that covered. ESET, ENOD, whatever it's called, has that covered, and they're immensely better at it than the FBI ever can be. They sinkhole malware DNS servers.
On Monday, the House of Representatives, that's something that we're going to get into in just a moment. The U.S. Justice Department announced Tuesday that it seized nearly 2,000 Bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies with an approximate value of $20 million and another nationwide undercover operation targeting darknet vendors. So it looks like maybe the government is coming, or at least trying to.
Well, Tor hasn't been secure in a while,
and that's something that we're going to cover in the second half of the crypto hour today.
But I mean, all of this takes place on Tor. That's how I mean the two are related.
Yeah, it is all related. Every bit of it's related. So it's. What do you think out there in the listening world? To give us a call, 603-283-6160, about the fact that there are over 130 FBI investigations that involve cryptocurrency in some way. And my question is, define involve cryptocurrency. Are you guys investigating dozens of cryptocurrency sellers, just regular guys who are trying to offload a little coin?
There was that guy in Mississippi who was arrested for it.
Or are you investigating, people who are using cryptocurrencies to buy 12-year-old Chinese girls? Are you using the money to this investigative funds, these millions of dollars that, $21.6 million that you've asked for? Are you using that to just target people, like just average folks, or are you using that in a responsible way?
Well, it's the government, so
right.
It's not a responsible way.
$21.6
million to Kaspersky Labs would be far more effective. And I would love to see that happen. Kaspersky has actually busted the NSA on a number of occasions. They refer to them as the Equation Group, and it's not 100% certain whether it's actually the NSA or not. But considering that they're able to intercept UPS trucks that are shipping hardware across the country, it's almost certain that it's the NSA. One of the most recent computer orders that I made actually was delayed about 3 weeks, and there was never any explanation of it. And the general hypothesis among people is that it was intercepted. But they're capable of rewriting the firmware itself on hard drives so that basically you can't remove it, and you have to replace the drive or go through the task of, reinstalling the stock firmware, which even I wouldn't attempt to do because it's so involved and so much can go wrong.
All right. Well, when we get back here, we're going to continue on. We've got callers on the line, and we've also got a story about the U.S. House unanimously passing a bill to investigate illicit use of cryptocurrencies. We'll be right back.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. SaveAtPurse.com.
Don't worry about things you can't control. Isn't that what they always say? But it's about impossible to avoid worrying about what's going on these days. The government has used the war on guns, the war on drugs, and the war on terrorism to tear our Bill of Rights to shreds. But you can fight back. The 10th Amendment Center has proven it, racking up major victories. For example, when the U.S. government claimed authority in the NDAA to have the military kidnap and detain Americans without trial, the nullifiers got a law passed in California, declaring the state's refusal to ever participate in any such thing. Their latest project is offnow.org, nullifying the National Security Agency. They've already gotten model legislation introduced in California, Arizona, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kansas, meant to limit the power of the NSA to spy on Americans in those states. We'd be fools to wait around for the U.S. Congress or courts to roll back Big Brother. Our best chance is nullification and interposition on the state level. Go to offnow.org, print out that model legislation, and get to work nullifying the NSA. The hero Edward Snowden has risked everything to give us this chance. Let's take it. Offnow.org.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom, live on LRN.FM. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Midnight, them
right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. 5 minutes and 21 seconds. We'll remember that for Daryl. Anyway, we're back here now, and we've got someone on the line here on the call-in line. We've got Dave. Dave is calling us from Virginia. How you doing, Dave? What do you think, and why do you think it?
I'm doing great. I appreciate what you guys are doing. I love your show.
Awesome. Thank you.
I was listening to Free Talk Live the other day, and they had two of the three amigos from Dash on there. It's a great show. But
Joe Valenzuela and Mark, I don't remember who the other guy was. The British guy.
That was Tuesday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a great show anyway. And I've been buying crypto for about a year and a half now. And I live in the Richmond, Virginia area, so there's nowhere to spend it. So it's just a shrinking savings account right now, but we know where it's going. So, but anyway, a couple questions.
Hodl it, man.
Hodl.
How can you buy Dash without trading it for another cryptocurrency? Normally, right now, I buy. I go to the Bitcoin ATM in Richmond, put it in Bitcoin in my Coinomi account, and then move it over to Dash.
That's going to be the easiest and probably really the cheapest.
Well, now
way.
I think in your Coinomi account, you can buy some cryptos with your bank account through your Coinomi wallet.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the new. It's over in your menu now. It's in the menu selection.
I have not updated my app
I
in like
tried
8
it.
months.
Okay.
Then there's Uphold.com. They sell Dash, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, and basic attention tokens,
which you don't want.
BAT. Then you have other. Well, like Kraken sells Dash, but it's a pain to get. Like it's a
Yobit is easy to get on. But I think that's cryptocurrency only.
Yeah,
I don't think they do fiat.
Crypto only. I don't think they do fiat. So, because they're not in the U.S. either. They're in New Zealand, I believe.
I mean, you could sell your soul, as I did, to Coinbase and use them.
No!
Well,
hits this woman!
That's where I started. That's where I started. It was when I first got started. That was it seemed like the easiest thing. So I did use Coinbase. I try to stay away from that now.
Yeah, for the people who have access to, Bitcoin ATMs and things like that, there is no need whatsoever to ever touch Coinbase.
Well, see, here in Keene, we're lucky because we have Bitcoin and Dash ATMs.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere,
right,
yeah.
That actually was one of my questions coming up. How in the world did you guys do it where you could get businesses to actually accept crypto in local businesses and get ATMs?
The people who make the apps that do that are located here. So,
well, you have to admit the Monadnock Decentralized Currency group has done so much work. Because even if you don't accept the currency, they'll just come in a pack to your restaurant or your business and give you business as this giant group and be like, you see this? You could have this every week.
I've also heard that
if you took crypto.
You could actually go to the businesses and set them up so that they accept cryptocurrency using Coinomi or something like that. You may have to help them with their books and things like that.
If you get them to install AnyPay, AnyPay's paying bounties.
But I have a better solution for him that makes him richer, not AnyPay.
Well, this makes him richer too. AnyPay will pay him a bounty for every business.
But they won't pay him this much.
Oh yeah, true.
And then go there offer them, I will come by once every Friday or whatever, and I will buy for cash whatever crypto you've been given this week. And in a sense, you become their AnyPay.
Yeah, their AnyPay.
And you get the crypto, fair market value, I would recommend, or maybe even, cut them a little slice of it. It doesn't matter. But that would be the first. You have to offer them something, not just, more overhead and more complicated things that they don't understand. You have to appeal to their business sense. Like, look, I can make you money and you won't have to mess with it. All you got to do is, store it, and I will come by each week and give you money for it.
That's a great idea. Okay. And the one last question. With the the changing prices, how what's the best way to deal with going from having $1,500 in your Dash account down to 2 weeks later having a third of that?
I hold.
Yeah, only have what you can spare, what you can afford to lose, in extremely volatile assets. I don't want to use the word assets there, but nothing else is applicable.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you don't want to have your rent money and things like that in cryptocurrencies.
Well, not only that, but it also the question comes: why do you have the currencies? Are you holding Zencash because you're a big believer in Zencash and you want to collect enough coins for a node? Well, if Zencash's price is changing, then it doesn't really matter. Are you holding Dash because you believe in the product and you want to use it as currency? Well, the rising and falling price, it does affect the bottom line if you put money into it, while it was high, and then by the time you got to spend it, it was low. But I think the whole freak outs over values encourages this crypto as an investment in an asset rather than crypto as an investment in the future of economics as a whole. I think the constant focus on, Bitcoin's only $6,000. Oh, a Bitcoin's $16,000. Those kinds of trends and speaking about crypto in that way changes the conversation around crypto, and it takes it from being a weapon that we can use to bludgeon the banks and the state to death with, and turns it into just any other investment. And that's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see crypto become just any other investment.
Oh, I totally agree. As I said, we in this area we have nowhere to use it, so I just been buying a little bit every week to try to build it up, and because I believe in cryptocurrency, I think it's the wave of the future, and we need to crush the banks anyway. But
ideally, if we can hold off the Ripples and Bitcoins,
right? All right. So I did ask. Ian was the one who was doing that interview, and I did ask him, and he said basically the same thing that we did. That it's vending machines. Vending machines are your best bet to get Dash for cash. So all right.
Great.
All right.
One thing real quick.
We're headed to a commercial. We'll be right back. We'll have to do it on the other side.
Okay.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
If you're looking for work, the person you are applying to is probably so swamped with applicants that he or she is tough to reach. So call early in the day, before 8 a.m., before the palace guards arrive. You'll need your prospect's direct number, and here's a sneaky way to get it. Suppose the company's main number is 555-5000. You should call 555-5010. Pam 2. When someone says, "Good morning, Pam Johnson," you should innocently say, "Oops, somebody here must have written this down wrong. I was calling for Tom Frederick. What's his direct number?" If the very next thing you hear isn't Pam giving you Tom's number, it may be, "Good morning, Tom Frederick." For more tips for job seekers and getting better results in all your day-to-day communication, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Join Daryl W. Perry on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio as he brings you news, views, and opinions while promoting the ideas of peaceful interaction.
The FBI or CIA or NSA or any other government agency could also go to the FISA court and say that we want information on anyone associated with anyone who is under investigation by the FBI. If they could somehow connect you, my listener, to me, then you could possibly be subject to investigation by the FBI, the NSA, the CIA, or any other government agency. Not because I directly am under investigation that I am aware of, but as a donor to antiwar.com, and knowing that they have been investigated by the FBI, then it's very possible.
Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.fm.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live from the Zencast studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire, and it is our Crypto Hour brought to you by the Motion Project at motionproject.org. Going over there are the newest and latest idea to put your ideas into motion. Crowdsourcing with crypto. A brilliant idea, I think. It's one of the reasons why we decided to get hooked up with them. And they contacted me and they were like, you know what? Here's the idea. Here's the way we can do it. What do you think? And I was like, crypto charity network that powers crypto. Sounds awesome. A coin powered by charitable giving. What a cool idea. Anyway, we've got Dave on the line with us. Dave's joining us from Virginia, and he was asking some questions about Dash. So go ahead, Dave. What was your last question?
This one is about cryptocurrency in general. How do we get away from using the comparison to dollars and start using Bitcoin as any of the cryptos as of value rather than comparing it to a dollar? If you go to buy something,
most
it's
exchanges like
$5.
Kraken and things like that do that. They give you how much Litecoin is worth relative to Bitcoin.
I like using Dogecoin better.
Yeah, Dogecoin would be
so
much
easier. Oh my God.
But I mean, that's the thing. We're programmed to think in units of measurement as the dollar. I mean, like if I asked you how long
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
250 centimeters were, you would have to spend a few minutes thinking about it. But if I asked you, what's 250 inches, you would much more readily be able to envision how much 250 inches is. And we have the same issue with the dollars, where we're just
and
all
kick
of our
out
lives,
that it's 10 feet and 11 feet, 12 feet, whatever it is. Just kick it right out. It's that.
And that's the USD with currency for us Americans.
Well,
and for most of the world in general.
We're not used. Most of the world is not used to the side of the decimal point that most Bitcoin transactions exist on, because of the fact that a Bitcoin is so big. And that's, I think, your biggest problem, is because a Bitcoin is so big, it takes like our Motion Project coins. Our sponsors with Motion Project are worth, where's it at? There's a thing that's a price chart that is in Bitcoin, but it's like 0.00002963, and that's $1.38.
Yeah, but we have no perspective for understanding that. You listed off that Bitcoin number. I don't have any idea how much value that is relative to anything else.
Exactly, and that's the problem. That's why I like Doge. It's because Doge is worth. Well, it used to be worth a penny, and it was like a penny stock.
But see, you're still using that as a reference to understand it. You're still using the USD when you think about it in those terms. It's a good question. How do we break out of that psychologically? I have no idea, except to steep ourselves in it. Make yourself get used to how much
Bitcoin's not going to be the way we do it, because
Bitcoin
measurements are just too astronomically large. And the average mathematician doesn't even deal in numbers like that on a regular basis, just talking in conversation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0.5, 0.25. These are measurements that the average person can think of. A quarter of something, half of something. 0.0002963.25 of something.
Bitcoin just about needs scientific notation in order to understand.
Yeah. So small coins that can stay in smaller increments will be helpful. Coins in smaller increments, I think, will be helpful. Like a coin that could stay a value, a static value around 1. What we understand as 1.
Yeah.
But once you get on the other side of that decimal point and you put 2 zeros.
Well, something like Motion is actually pretty good for that purpose. Like, we could understand Motion Coin in terms of milk or cars or anything like that. Okay, well, I need 17,000 Motion in order to buy a car, or I need 3 Motion in order to buy a gallon of milk.
2, but yeah.
Okay, 2.
You need 2 Motion coins to buy a gallon of milk.
Well, it depends on whether it's organic or not, I guess.
Yeah, then you need 4. Because good organic milk here is like $4.50 a gallon, plus $1 for the jug. Because it's glass.
Oh, wow.
Because it's glass. But you get the $1 back if you bring it back.
Thank you for answering the questions. You guys doing a great job. I love listening to your show, and have a great day.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you calling in today, Dave. You have a great evening. So the next story, it's the same, it's just a little bit more.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
The U.S. House has unanimously passed a bill to help fight illicit use of cryptocurrencies. The U.S. House of Representatives unanimously passed a bill to help prevent the illicit use of crypto, including Bitcoin, Dash, Zcash, and Monero. This bill follows a testimony by the Secret Service asking Congress for help in stopping these activities. House Resolution 6069 passed. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed House Resolution 6069, known as the Fight Illicit Networks and Detect Trafficking Act, or no, that's not an acronym for anything.
I thought it must have been.
Yeah, the bill was considered by the House Monday and passed unanimously, according to California Representative Juan Vargas, the liberal moron who jointly introduced the bill with Keith Rothfuss. The Republican Policy Committee website describes H.R. 609 would require the Government Accountability Office to carry out a study on how virtual currencies and online marketplaces
But meanwhile, we can't get Audit the Fed passed.
right, are used to buy, sell, or facilitate the financing of goods or services associated with sex trafficking or drug trafficking. Oh, there you go. It's the magic word, the children. The GOA study would allow, also examine how virtual currencies can be used to detect and deter these illicit activities. After passage of the bill, Representative Rothfuss released a statement saying, illicit markets where drugs and human trafficking take place are constantly evolving, especially on the dark web. Cryptocurrencies can mask traffickers' transactions, affording them a level of anonymity when conducting illegal activities. This bipartisan legislation will help the government expose new criminal methods to move illicit funds and provide ways to stop them. While acknowledging that virtual currencies such as Bitcoin, Dash, Zcash, and Monero can be used for legal purchases, the committee website noted it's also been reported that virtual currencies are being used to run illegal online marketplaces to sell drugs, including the opioid fentanyl, and contributing to the opioid crisis in America. The Republican Policy Committee further claims, according to recent reports, transnational criminal organizations are increasingly using virtual currencies
like
for
the FBI?
Illicit activities, right? Or the CIA, including drug trafficking.
Like the CIA.
And citing the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration's 2017 National Drug Assessment. According to Representative Vargas, quote, the anonymity behind virtual currencies has made them the preferred payment method to carry out illegal activities. Congress must understand the full extent of how virtual currencies are being used to facilitate drug and sex trafficking and to promote legislative solutions to fight these crimes.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way.
You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait a minute. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me? Because you're scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
All right, welcome back here to the final segment of this Crypto Hour here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the Zencast studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. We are finishing up the Crypto Hour, which is brought to you by the motionproject.org. We've been talking about, the U.S. House of Representatives and how they've been doing everything that they can to pass laws to get themselves into the crypto industry. Oh my goodness, do you hear that? It sounds like somebody must have left the water on. Oh no, that's not it. That's not right. It's our motion faucet. That's right. Next caller at 603-283-6160 will get 10 motion coins out of our motion faucet. Faucet brought to you by motionproject.org. Put your ideas into motion. That number is 603-283-6160. Again, 603-283-6160 to get your 10 free motion coins, a wallet valued at about $14. So the story again says here that after passage of this bill, in order that was again a bipartisan bill passed unanimously in the House, in order to target cryptocurrency and the dark market. After the passage of the bill, Vargas commented that this bill is an important first step in helping Congress understand the full extent of how virtual currencies are being used to facilitate drug and sex trafficking, and will help us propose effective legislative solutions to fight these crimes. I hope to see the same level of support for this legislation in the Senate. I hope it dies in the Senate. Deputy Assistant Director of the U.S. Secret Service Office of Investigations, Robert Novi, shared a similar sentiment in his testimony before the House of Representatives Financial Services Subcommittee on Terrorism and Illicit Finance last week. He called on Congress to help in preventing cryptocurrencies like Monero and Zcash, which provide users with enhanced privacy and anonymity features, from being used for illicit purposes. On Tuesday, the Department of Justice also announced the arrest of more than 35 people selling illicit goods in a nationwide undercover operation targeting darknet vendors. According to the notice, nearly 2,000 bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies with an approximate value of more than $20 million were seized. Wow.
Yeah, that is a lot of money.
That's a whole lot of money. So,
I mean, that's what the government does best. So, of course, when they seize money, it's going to be a lot of it. Because that's what they do. They seize money.
Well, you see that they weren't able to pass an audit the Fed bill, like you mentioned, but they could.
They can audit cryptocurrencies effectively. Yeah, nothing weird about that at all. No conflicting interests. Certainly not. From our government? I mean, never mind the fact that, cash has all of the very same problems. Like the exact same problems. Only it's even more anonymous. Because there is no public ledger.
Well, and that's why they're saying that they want to...
I mean, in a lot of ways, Bitcoin is a gift to them.
They want to target privacy coins. That's what they said. That's why they want to target
they can do that all they want. I mean, there's no information for them to gain from it. So have at it, guys. Waste your time. It's futile, I guess.
Eesh.
If it's a proper privacy coin like Zencash, I mean, it's a complete waste of time. It's like trying to find out who the owner of a burner phone was.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Bitcoin has dropped below 6,000. I was correct. I called it.
Yep.
Below.
I think I said it back in January that I didn't think it was going to go back up until it hit at least, I think I said 3,000.
No, 5,000. The 5,000 range was my prediction. I said back in March and in April that the trajectory of the crash would be basically that it would go down and down and down and down and down and down, and there would be numerous what they call bear traps, where there's these pop-ups and everybody jumps right back in and throws a bunch of money in, and then it drops again, and then mid-July would be the end. So about 2 weeks from now, the crashing will stop, and it'll be close to $5,000 when that happens.
I expected it to go down to 500 is what I said.
I
still stand by that.
I think the floor is 5,000. I think the $5,000 is the spot where it'll no longer be oversold. And
because the enthusiasm that drove it up to $20,000 in the first place, it still isn't there.
No, it's not. It's not. Well, I think partly
it's
because
have to come back. And I don't think it will until it hits about $500 per coin, and people are like, hey, you mean this thing that's worth $500 now could be worth 20 grand, and we've seen it at 20 grand? That's when the enthusiasm will return, because suddenly buying an entire Bitcoin will seem feasible again.
I don't know. I hope not, because it's been a long time since Bitcoin was only $500, bro.
Yeah.
A long time. So, I mean, I hope you're wrong, but you very well could be right.
Well, I hope I'm wrong. I mean, that's a lot of money.
There are investors all over the world that hope that you are wrong right now, Aria. They're literally pissing in their pants as we speak, going 500. No, God, no, please, no. I'll shoot myself in the face if it breaks 1,000.
Yeah, the Wall Street crash 2.0, as it were.
I'm telling you, it's just.
But I think it's going to happen.
If I was a betting man, I would bet you. But I'm not a betting man, so I'm just going to restate my position that $5,000 is the floor. That's what we're going to find. We're going to hit 5,000, and then it's going to bounce. The food at Athens, man, it gave me such bad indigestion.
Really?
Yes. Oh my God. I should have sat out lunch. I never eat lunch anyway.
Oh, it's that Greek, man.
Yeah. It wasn't Greek. That was like knockoff Greek. It was ricotta cheese instead of feta. And you can tell the difference. Trust me.
Well, I can't, but you probably can.
Well, no. One is made from the milk of a sheep, and one is not. And that is a major difference in flavor. It's like ricotta cheese mixed with yogurt and shredded cucumber. You remember the salad that you saw me serving with the shawarma?
I think so.
That's what should have been on it.
The one that Farrah made?
Yeah, that's what should have been on it.
Okay.
But instead I got like cottage cheese mixed with yogurt and black pepper with some cucumbers thrown in. No garlic. They're like, it's tzatziki sauce. And I'm like, you don't know what that word means. Why are you all Snow White?
So
Greek people
like
are darker than this.
Is Italian, or like Olive Garden is Italian?
They're supposed to be Greek. The lightest skinned Greek people I ever saw in my life. I dated a Greek girl when I was like 19. And yeah, she was a lot darker than anything I saw there. They were just skinny white folks. I mean, unless the owners look different. Oh my God, I want this poster. Anyway.
Well, they might, but you got to think that Greek owners probably wouldn't mix up cheeses like that.
For real, yo, they would have put feta in it because feta is, well, it's Arab, Mediterranean, Greek. You know, they all argue over who invented feta, who invented olive oil, who invented hummus, who invented the gyro or gyro, depending on who you're asking. The Turks say they did it. The Greeks say they did it. The Syrians and the Arabs say that they did it. They all argue over who did it. Yeah. They're like, who invented the olive? Okay, like the Israelis even get in it. They're like, no, we are hummus. Hummus is ours. We came up with hummus. And the Arabs are like, no, we were eating hummus while you were still building the temples in Egypt. And then the Egyptians are like, yeah, but we were eating hummus then too. And then the Greeks are like, but Alexander the Great, and spray Windex on it. And
I don't know where the Windex came from. But, okay.
It's a cultural thing. Anybody that's Greek will totally understand. Anybody with Greek friends will totally understand. All right. Anyway, when we get back here, we have got...
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news, on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, June 28th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.03 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,251 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $17, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,121. Antiwar.com reports Russian officials confirmed on Wednesday that a deal had been reached on holding a summit between President Trump and President Putin. Though the two have met twice on the sideline of international events, this will be the first direct summit with the Russian leader of Trump's time in office. Officials have said a date and time are set, but what they are has yet to be made public. Reports have suggested it will take place in the next few weeks, however, and will be in a third country, with Helsinki, Finland suggested as a probable location. With allegations still swirling about Russian meddling in the 2016 election, President Trump has been very cautious with his diplomatic ties with Russian officials. This has meant that despite substantial issues to be addressed, the U.S. has much less engagement with Russia than in years past. John Bolton, who was in Moscow negotiating the summit, says that President Trump will be raising a full range of issues during the summit. He downplayed the significance of the meeting, saying he did not view the summit as anything unusual, which normally wouldn't be. U.S. and Russian presidents have met quite often. That Trump has not done so formally in the last 18 months is much more unusual, however, and the political circus still swirling around the election will likely make the summit controversial, particularly for Trump's political opponents. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. UPI reports after weeks of negotiations and a last-minute Twitter endorsement by President Donald Trump, the House on Wednesday rejected the GOP's compromise immigration bill. The bill was rejected by a vote of 121 to 301, which was well short of the 218 votes needed to pass. No Democrats voted for the bill. Earlier Wednesday, Trump had urged House Republicans to back the bill, despite telling them last week to wait until after midterm elections to bother with any reform measures. Under the proposal, children who cross the border with parents or other adult guardians in violation of immigration laws would no longer be separated, an issue that stirred significant controversy last week and led to a presidential order and federal court ruling. The bill would have required children to be released after 20 days, still apart from parents who continued to be detained. Unaccompanied children would be returned to their home countries. Included in the bill was nearly $25 billion for a border wall on the U.S.-Mexico border, a project sharply opposed by Democrats, but Trump had said it was required for his signature. The bill would have also allowed a path to citizenship for 3.6 million DACA recipients, or Dreamers. Democrats, though, said the bill would have made that path much more difficult. The Cato Institute estimated eligibility restrictions in the bill would only result in about 12% of Dreamers becoming U.S. citizens. Last week, Republican leaders in the House rescheduled the vote on Ryan's moderate version after rejecting a more conservative proposal. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the U.S. Supreme Court on Wednesday dealt a blow to organized labor, ruling that non-members cannot be forced in certain states to pay fees to unions representing public employees such as teachers and police, shutting off a key union revenue source. The 5-4 ruling overturned a 1977 Supreme Court precedent that had permitted these so-called agency fees, which have been collected from millions of workers who opt not to join unions in lieu of union dues to fund non-political activities such as collective bargaining. The court's conservative justices were in the majority, with the liberal justices dissenting. In the majority ruling authored by Justice Samuel Alito, the court said forcing non-members to pay these fees to unions whose views they may oppose violates their rights to free speech and free association under the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment. Alito wrote states and public sector unions may no longer extract agency fees from non-consenting employees. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
America is at a crossroads on many issues, leading many to ask, Is it time for the president to blow the silver horn left behind by the Founding Fathers in case the country ever needed them? Of course, the horn, which has been sitting in the Oval Office since 1817, has never been used by a commander-in-chief, but many Americans think now might be the time to summon our forefathers. Which Founding Fathers would come back?
All of them. Look, when you have a bug problem, you call the exterminator. When you have an America problem, you call the Founding Fathers. They know what to do.
We have to keep in mind the Founding Fathers left us with a warning. If you blow the horn with less than pure intentions, it will turn to tin and can never be used.
But a president has to take risks, have the courage to admit that his administration is not all-knowing, and blow that magic silver horn to summon someone who is.
Yes, but what if we become too reliant on them and they disappear after the next new moon, as was written?
This is the Onion News Network.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the Zencast studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. We've been, reporting to you live for the last couple hours, discussing crypto news and some of the dumb things that we've heard Democrats do in the recent days and weeks. Well, now we're going to, a day early, get into a little bit of
the dumb things libertarians do.
That's right. We're going to end up with an unscheduled Libertarian Party drama remix. Woohoo! Oh yeah! Get down! With the remix. All right, guys. So what's going on with the Libertarian Party's drama remix this week? See, we were going to wait and we were going to talk tomorrow about Ryan Ramsey and Joshua Smith with a little bit of stinky pranky. But we saw something that came through that I just found so much more funny that, I wanted to make sure we got to give it a little bit of time and the Stinky Pinky as much time as they both deserved. So we're going to go on. We're going to talk about, it turns out that Matthew Keenel is upset that he's being sued. See, Joshua Smith sent him a message. I had my lawyer draft this up, and I'm going to be seeking damages. I'll be adding
Matt Keenel.
I'll be adding additional defendants for the people who've been helping you blackmail me. I have proof of conspiracy to commit blackmail with many of your associates too. That will come out in discovery if you don't already have a lawyer. There's also a federal case being built, as blackmail is a federal offense. I have no control over that. I'm sending you this as a courtesy so you're aware that any further defamation and blackmail, be it public or private, from you or any of your associates, will be added to the case. Keenel's response, and we're going to read the case. I've got a copy of it. Keenel's response.
I want Tom's response.
Right, we'll get Tom's response. Keenel's response, Joshua is now threatening to sue me and have federal charges pressed against me with damages of $80,000 for my free speech about his proven history. Isn't it funny how suddenly, like, Antifa lover is like, free speech, man, free speech? He lost his job because he's irresponsible, not because his employer follows me on Facebook. Maybe he should have spent more time looking for work instead of campaigning for a volunteer position.
Yeah, dig that grave a little bit deeper, Matt.
I'll be patiently waiting my subpoena. Well, I've got a copy of the jurisdiction, venue, the whole thing that's been filed in federal United States District Court.
Matt seems to be under the impression that it's not going to happen.
It's been filed in United States District Court.
Yeah.
It's public record, dude. Plaintiff Joshua Smith complains of defendant Matthew Keenell and does 1 through 10, and defendant alleges the following. Plaintiff is an individual who resides in Clark County, Washington, and is a military veteran. The defendant is an individual who resides in Macomb County, Michigan, and is secretary of the Macomb County Libertarian Party. The plaintiff is ignorant of the true names and capacity of defendants sued herein, as does 1 through 25 inclusive, and therefore sues these defendants by such fictitious names and all persons unknown, claiming by legal or equitable right, title, estate, lien, or interest in the property described in this complaint.
Yeah, Keenell, there is no doubt that what we just read was written by an attorney.
Yeah.
Get one, bro.
Defendants sued herein, as does 1 through 10, are jointly and severally, contractually, strictly, negligently, intentionally, vicariously liable, and or otherwise legally responsible in some manner for each and every act, omission, obligation, event, or happening set forth in this complaint, and that each of said fictitiously named defendants are indebted to the plaintiff as hereinafter alleged. The use of the term defendants in any of the allegations in this complaint, unless specifically otherwise set forth, is intended to include and charge both jointly and separately not only named defendants, but as yet unnamed defendants as well. The plaintiff is informed and believes thereon alleges that at all times mentioned herein does defendants and or defendant and or defendants were engaged servants, employees, alter egos, superiors, successors in interest of, joint ventures, and or co-conspirators of each of his co-defendants, and in doing the things herein after alleged or acting within the course and scope of his authority of such agents, servants, employees, and alter egos, superiors, successors in interest, joint ventures, and or co-conspirators with permission and consent of his co-defendants, and consequently each defendant. Holy Jesus Christ.
You know, it occurs to me that seeking the federal government on someone should probably disqualify you from the LNC chair.
Right.
Here
we go.
I would think most libertarians would agree.
Here we go.
I think Smith just threw away any chance he had.
Statement of fact. On or about September 2017, plaintiff announced his intention to run for chair of the Libertarian Party National Committee. Defendant, a former friend and associate of the plaintiffs, immediately began an aggressive online harassment campaign to discredit and defame the plaintiff. Among other things, defendant alleged the plaintiff was a white nationalist, a Nazi, a deadbeat dad, and a perpetrator of domestic violence. Defender made these statements and others like them repeatedly in writing and in view of the public over a period of 10 months. Defendant made the statements even though he knew they were not true and with the intent of harm to the plaintiff's reputation and to prevent him from winning an election. On or about June 26, 2018, defendant contacted plaintiff and informed plaintiff that he did not drop out of the election. Defendant would relieve plaintiff's private chat logs to the general public. Defendant, an elected official, defamed and blackmailed plaintiff in an attempt to force plaintiff to drop out of a political race. Plaintiff re-alleges paragraphs 1 through 13 as though fully set forth herein. Elected official attempted to blackmail the plaintiff. The defendant and elected official advised the plaintiff that if he did not drop out of the race, the defendant would release private information to the public. Recognized political party. Plaintiff's election is set to take place less than 1 week from the defendant made the blackmail statements. Elected official attempted to blackmail again on. So there's multiple attempts to blackmail, basically.
I mean, that's pretty serious.
Yeah.
This isn't high school, Matt.
For real, yo, you can't just do stuff. Plaintiff prays for the judgment as follows: as all causes of action, at least $80,000 in monetary damages, punitive damages, restitution according to proof at trial, trial by jury, plaintiff recovery, reasonable attorney's fees, and costs incurred in this action, and any other relief that the courts deem just and proper. So I guess the moral of the story is don't talk trash about people online in the middle of an election just because you want to win.
Which was never going to happen anyway.
For real, yo. Keenel knew he was never going to win. He ran as a spoiler. His whole purpose was to derail Josh because he doesn't want the LP to move in a more right-wing direction. He wants it to move in a more left-wing direction, and he was willing to commit slander to do so.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live from our Zencast studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And you know what these days? Well, it's really, really hard to keep your internet and digital communication secured. And that's why we like to advertise for CryptVisor. You see, the government's toolbox gets bigger and bigger every single day. They can use subpoenas to get your personal information from companies, or they can shut down servers and prevent you from communicating altogether. Well, that's where CryptVisor comes in. It's a decentralized, encrypted communication platform that is hosted on the blockchain. See, there's no personal information kept by CryptVisor. So IP addresses, email addresses, names, phone numbers, if the feds come sniffing around, there's no info for them to give. And if they want to shut down the server, well, powered by thousands of nodes all across the internet, unless they can shut down the web, they won't be stopping you from communicating. So head on over to cryptvisor.network right now. They're completely rolled out. Everything's ready to rock and roll, and it's all for free until August. So get your free copy while it lasts. That's cryptvisor.network, your home for advanced, secured communication. So now the big story that I'm seeing today is how everybody is, flipping out over the fact that this Democratic Socialist won. You know, we covered it yesterday.
At the same time that the Democratic Party is considering running Clinton-Biden.
Yeah. And guess what? The Tea Party was winning at the same time that the Republican Party was considering running Mitt Romney. Do you see the pattern here? Exactly. And who actually won in 2012? Oh, yeah. Mitt Romney. So Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney won. So that shows what's coming in 2020 for the Democrats. It'll be Biden with somebody that is totally not exciting for anybody.
Yep.
Well, until the Janus decision ended mandatory public sector union dues, and Associate Justice of the Supreme Court Anthony Kennedy announced his retirement, Wednesday was looking like a pretty good day for the progressive left. One of their champions, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, defeated the fourth most powerful House Democrat in an upset primary victory. Another clear sign that the energy enthusiasm is with the Bernie Sanders wing of the party. Much like how Eric Cantor, one of the most powerful Republicans in the House, lost to a Tea Party primary shortly after Obama was elected. Again, anyone see a pattern here? Democratic socialism, the ideology with which Ocasio-Cortez identifies, appears to be having a political moment. To which I say, as a libertarian who's been through the whole "an idea whose time has finally come" experience, good luck with that, comrades. The signs are easy to misread. Yes, Ocasio-Cortez is aligned with Democratic Socialists of America, and she even has the red rose of socialism in her Twitter profile, and ran on a Democratic Socialist platform.
Is it red for all of the blood that has been spilled in the name of socialism?
Right. Medicare for all, free college tuition, federal jobs guarantee. She also wants to abolish ICE, but that's not really a socialist-specific idea. We libertarians have wanted to abolish ICE for a long time, whereas Sanders can't quite bring himself to support the elimination of a government program, does not support the abolition of ICE. So-called socialist ideas might be more popular than you think, wrote Vox's Dylan Scott, in a wildly optimistic piece that hailed Ocasio-Cortez as the future of the Democrat Party. Splinter, the new go-to site for Gawker-style uncompromising leftism, celebrated the fact that Ocasio-Cortez could help normalize the S-word. The most starstruck members of the ideological group probably envision their ideas making headway within the Democratic Party. Who could be against socialism, as defined by Ocasio-Cortez as democratic participation in our economic dignity?
Well, I can.
And the basic elements that are required for an economic and socially dignified life in the United States. MSNBC's Chris Hayes, to his credit, was mildly incredulous about the future congresswoman's agnostic definitions of the term. And yet it's easy to imagine when things are going your way in the elections department, it's because you're right and that people are waking up to that fact. Well, Ocasio-Cortez's defeat of Representative Joe Crowley, a Democrat from New York, is already being compared to upstart Dave Bratt's defeat of Republican House Majority Leader Eric Cantor in 2011. Oh my God, didn't I just do that? I recall that many in the media saw Bratt's victory as a sign that the Tea Party was winning, that the crony capitalist, big government-loving wing of the Republican Party was losing out to a libertarian insurgency. In the period of time between 2009 and 2015, a group of Republicans that apparently appeared like they wanted to shrink government stole some power from the old guard. Time magazine dubbed Senator Rand Paul the most interesting man in national politics, and libertarianism was finally enjoying its political moment. Even the New York Times thought so. Well, we know now that this analysis was, at the very least, incomplete. And while it's true that more and more people desire cultural freedom, specifically the kind of customization, choice, and control over their own lives that a libertarian worldview provides, political libertarianism had much less support than it seemed. Voters didn't send the Tea Party to Washington to constrain government. They ended up caring far less about crony capitalism than they did about illegal immigration. And as the libertarian-leaning Republican rep Tom Massey told the Washington Examiner, he thought people that backed Ron Paul and Rand Paul were voting for libertarian ideas. And once those same voters turned to Trump, he realized that they weren't. I realized they voted for Rand and Ron and me in those primaries. They weren't voting for libertarian ideas. They were voting for the craziest son of a bitch in the race. And Donald Trump won best in class as he had up until he came along.
That's a good point.
We'll continue on with the fact that this is really not the Democratic Socialists' moment in the sun that they think that it is when we get back here with a little more of the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM.
Went to see the captain, strangest I could find. Laid my proposition down, laid it on the line. I won't slave for beggars' pay, likewise.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
U.S. officials assure Hong Kong that their protest is just one of many issues the White House is staying silent on, and an old guy at a hostel is down to party. This is The Onion Week in Review. Stunned officials from the Marine Conservation Institute announced this week that the past half-century of climate change and habitat loss somehow hasn't managed to take down the parrotfish. Biologists stress that despite destructive chemical runoff, rising ocean temperatures, and overfishing, the persistent little shits were somehow plugging right along like nothing had even happened.
You look at the oil spills, greenhouse gases, and God knows what else we're throwing at them, and you think, yeah, those subtropical should have been wiped out decades ago. But nope, these sons of bitches are still around and doing better than ever.
In other news, a grasshopper is dismembered by a future Supreme Court justice. A man having a great time will soon have to apologize to everyone, and Rand Paul pretends to be asleep so his dad will carry him in from the car.
This is the Onion News Network.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom live on LRN.fm. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.fm.
Freedom to the second half of this last hour of our 3-hour-long live broadcast on your drive home today. And it's been an interesting day in American politics and news. We've had journalists shot in the D.C. area. You've got Democratic socialists who think that their time has come because they forgot to pay attention to the Tea Party revolution and what happened to it. And we were talking about this earlier. This democratic socialist revolution, it comes with its own astroturfing from day one, because I mean, who is the leader of this new movement but Bernie Sanders? And who sold out the revolution in 2016 at the drop of a hat? Yep. Bernie Sanders. And somebody was, I was like, Bernie Sanders did this. And somebody was like, well, yeah, but he got a boat. And another beach house.
As you pointed out, Ron Paul never did that. He stayed true to the end. If anything, he's become more libertarian, more anarchist since his retirement.
Yes. I mean, that's my personal. I mean, but then again, maybe it's just that the Libertarian Party has become so much less libertarian that it makes Ron Paul look more libertarian.
All of we kind of sort of want a little bit less government. Once the Tea Party was co-opted by the Republican establishment, they came to the LP.
The Longer Leashes Caucus. That's what I call them.
Yeah, there's the disaffected Tea Partiers.
Yeah, the Longer Leashes Caucus.
Yeah, they're in the LP now.
Yeah.
Running for the chair.
Wow. That was... Ouch.
But I mean, it is. That's what's happened to the LP.
Open, you piece of junk.
Anyway. I mean, it went downhill right around the same time. Actually, I think the Portland Massacre. Yeah, I think it happened first, but I mean, the timeline still fits really, really well.
I so can't wait till we get to the Libertarian Drama tomorrow. There's just so much stuff that I've got set up. Just gonna sit here.
I remember I officially registered with the LP in 2012, and when the 2016 debates came on, I wasn't even going to watch them. Because I was like, what is the point? There's only one libertarian position, it's the NAP. Just apply that to the issue and you've got the answer. How wrong was I? That first debate, 10 minutes in, I was like, oh my God, what is the LP?
What happened to the LP?
Well, I wasn't there for its descent. I just came in at the end of it.
Did you see Daryl? Did you see Daryl's butthole pucker right there? I saw it in his eyes.
Did Smith walk in the room?
Did Josh walk in the room? Sticky picker. Anyway, back to the story. Ocasio-Cortez doesn't appear crazy. She's an eloquent, if naive and unspecific, defender of far-left ideas. But be cautious about attributing her success to a rising salience of democratic socialism. It could be a mere anti-incumbent insurgency, which usually happens after a very divisive president is elected. Or it could be no insurgency at all, given that the country's currently a one-off. During this time of heightened concern regarding the Trump administration, treatment of immigrant children, perhaps this majority-minority district just really wanted to send a young woman of color to Congress instead of an aging white man. As 538's Nate put it, most of these articles drawing lessons and takeaways from New York 14 are bad. If you're generalizing from it, you also have to explain the 99% of the time that the incumbent doesn't lose. Bonus points if you can also distinguish near misses, i.e. New York's 11, from the didn't even come closes.
I mean, that just really demonstrates how much deeper into the state's ass Nate Silver has climbed. He's thrown away statistics. No, but he's wrong in that. You don't have to account for that. You don't have to account for changing circumstances when you crunch numbers. Not by any means. He doesn't have to explain the 99% of elections where a Trump did not win, where some lunatic outsider who had no real experience with politics came in and won the most powerful position in the world. He doesn't have to account for that. He didn't have to account for that in last year's statistics or last elections. I mean, he's being disingenuous there.
Well, there's no doubt socialism, as defined in incredibly loose terms as a vast social welfare system, is gaining popularity among young Democrats.
Young unemployed Democrats.
What's that song? Young, dumb, and broke. But libertarians have learned the hard way that it's all too easy to draw unwarranted conclusions and misdiagnose a moment, especially when the New York Times is fawning over you. So anyway, yeah, there is a story I wanted to cover, but I really don't want to take the steam away from Free Talk Live covering it tonight, so we'll leave that story for them to cover tonight. Yeah, I got 5 dead now in Annapolis, Maryland.
Any update on the motive?
Nope, none at all. Ooh, whoa. Possibility of Senator Mike Lee replacing Justice Anthony Kennedy on the Supreme Court? Somebody asked me. I
we
would
could always
consider
just
that.
draw names out of
I
a
would
hat.
not say no. Oh, okay. So it's just a rumor, and he shot it down. If they asked me, I wouldn't say no, but no one's asked. Then the answer to that is no. Why would you even run a story? Could this happen? Well, anything could happen.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, if we're going to keep selective service, we might as well use it to select Supreme Court justices. At least then they're not going to die.
We got one here on the ACLU and whether or not they're going to stick to their guns about. Oh my God! Wow, man! Bitcoin down to $5,957.
Tell you, man, it's going to hit 500.
Bitcoin's on sale, baby. Bitcoin on sale. This is says here, last week, it was reported that the American Civil Liberties Union appeared to be having an internal discussion about whether it would continue to take controversial free speech cases, prompted by pushback from
That's the
progressives.
point of free speech cases, you idiots.
Progressives are angry that the ACLU is taking cases that it doesn't like. They're concerned about the organization's defense of the far-right Charlottesville protesters. Some free speech activists think the memo is yet more evidence that the ACLU is going soft on the First Amendment in an attempt to appease the kind of far-left campus activist who thinks that free speech enables violence and that liberalism is white supremacy. Others insist the ACLU hasn't changed its position at all. In fairness, both perspectives, I've collected some eloquent arguments from both sides to show. An internal memo obtained by former ACLU board member Wendy Kaminer and published by the Wall Street Journal encouraged local ACLU affiliates to actors such as the present historical combat, proposed speech, potential effect of marginalized communities. Okay, basically what they're saying is that if what a person says could be offensive to a person of color, then the ACLU should not defend that. Basically, if you say something offensive about a member of a minority group or protected class, the ACLU should no longer fight for your right to free speech because the left is offended.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Excuse me, is this where I get a license to start a new business?
I wouldn't be hasty. You have to get a license to go out of business, too, you know.
Oh, well, look, I've invented this little anti-gravity machine, see?
Oh, is that why you're walking 2 inches above the floor?
Oh, yes, it's very comfortable. It saves on shoe leather.
Yeah, well, you have to fill out these forms and report to the Human Services Department of Manpower Orientation and register with the Fair Employment Practice Commission, the Wage and Hour Division of the Employment Standards Administration, the State Sales and Income Tax Division, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Social Security Administration of the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, and, of course, OSHA.
OSHA? I thought that was a little town in Wisconsin.
You'll find out. Say, floating around like that could be dangerous. Have you checked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission?
Well, not yet.
Come to think of it, you actually are flying, aren't you? Look, you need to go over to the Federal Aviation Administration and the Transportation...
It's very hard to get anything done these days if you're in business, but free enterprise built this country. Think what could happen if we don't keep it free. A public service of this station and the Center for the Defense of Free Enterprise, Bellevue, Washington.
We just can't have people floating about unregulated, you know.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Let's focus our discussion first on marijuana, okay? Marijuana has a very distinct smell, okay? I'm going to pass around just a little tiny bit, and I want you all to take a smell so you know when someone is smoking marijuana near you.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom and our final segment of this Thursday afternoon drive home broadcast for you. It's time for our cannabis news segment, and this story, it's got a great title: Why June 2018 Spelled the Beginning of the Crumble of Cannabis Prohibition. So there were a number of major breakthroughs in the course of the last month. And just in the last 3 weeks, let's name a few of them off. First, Canada federally legalized cannabis for all adults.
Wow.
Period. The FDA...
How far is Canada?
Right. It's just a few hours from here. Canada, the FDA, a federal agency, officially approved a cannabis-based medicine, the epilepsy drug Epidiolex, theoretically invalidating the Schedule I status of cannabis. Because, see, the Schedule I status means no medical usage, and now the FDA, a federal agency, has approved a medical usage of a product that another part of the government said has no medical usage.
Well, isn't the FDA the one who made it Schedule I in the first place?
No, that's the DEA.
Okay.
The World Health Organization has declared CBD to be a proven, effective treatment. with no evidence of health-related problems or indications of abuse.
Well, see, that's the issue. We need drugs that cause all these side effects that we can then treat with other drugs. Because otherwise, how are we going to line the pockets of the pharmaceutical companies?
In Congress, we actually reported on this. A bipartisan group introduced the STATES Act, which would end federal prohibition on marijuana in all states. Chuck Schumer's bill to end prohibition, announced ages ago, was also finally introduced in the Senate. And as we reported yesterday, Oklahoma approved the legislation of medical marijuana. Okay, that is hyperbole. They call it a landslide vote. I'm sorry, 56%
not quite
to 43% is not a landslide. That's
it's a strong victory.
It's a strong victory, but it's not a landslide. Landslide, 65%, maybe. But a 4% margin, that's not a landslide. That's a pretty close vote. There's more to come. Both Vermont and Massachusetts will enter their fully legal status at the stroke of midnight.
How did
in
this
just 2
paper
days.
Characterize the Brexit vote? Was it a landslide?
Right.
Because
Well,
the numbers
they didn't
are
talk
almost
about
identical.
Brexit. They didn't talk about Brexit. They only cover cannabis news. We can talk about Britain. Britain is having an emergency hearing on legalizing medical cannabis, though.
Awesome.
There's a lot to unpack. It all adds up to one takeaway. This month is the month that Prohibition's foundations collapsed. To borrow a phrase from the filmmaker David Markley, this is the month legalization broke. You have the Oklahoma 788 passing, 57-43%. And it's just a recap of all those stories. So, but what I was telling you about just a moment ago, there was also a major breakthrough in medical cannabis in England and in changing the way medical cannabis is dealt with there. This just a couple hours ago, as a matter of fact, England's own medical cannabis wall is finally tumbling down. Faced with the exigent needs of a really sick kid, the government of England has said it's preparing to allow emergency use of medical cannabis within the next 2 weeks. English patients who could benefit from the cannabinoid therapies have little access to the types of formulations found in established medical cannabis markets like California or Canada or Colorado. Meanwhile, Europe as a whole is flocking to making medical cannabis therapies more available. According to local reports, the issue has come into focus in England over several pediatric epilepsy cases like Alfie Dingley and Billy Caldwell, a 12-year-old Northern Ireland pediatric epilepsy patient. Excuse me. British authorities seized Caldwell's medication at London Heathrow Airport, sending him into a cascade of seizures requiring emergency attention.
Good God.
After Caldwell almost immediately suffered a seizure that hospitalized him, authorities gave him back his cannabidiol-rich, high CBD, low THC mixture made by a Canadian licensed producer, Tilray, and obtained during a trip to Canada. Editor's note, Tilray's owned by Privateer Holdings, a private equity firm that also owns the publication that I'm reading.
How many kids do you have to kill in the United Kingdom?
Right. Well, starting in 2 weeks, doctors will be able to order cannabis medicines on an emergency basis. It's not clear how many will be willing to do that, and patients must show, quote, exceptional clinical need, and doctors who aren't generally trained on the endocannabinoid system could reportedly be liable for patient outcomes. This week, musician and activist Damian Marley joined with physicians to call on England to fully legalize medical cannabis. That was at an NME symposium at Parliament. He was joined by Norman Lamb, MP, Dr. Frank D'Ambrosio, the campaigner Kate Rothwell, a couple of famous people that don't mean anything in America, but they're famous in Europe and in England particularly.
That's a little bit better than Facebook famous.
Yeah.
Not by much.
Well, you've got like white rappers from England. And Professor
unless they're a
Green.
Scandinavian death metal band, then it's worth something.
Then you got Professor Green, who did a BBC documentary, Is It Time to Legalize Weed, that was also there. Paul McCartney supports it. There you go. I mean, Sir Paul McCartney supports it. You just need to get Elton John behind it, and then bam, you win. Wow. She has a change.org petition in England that has 250,000 signatures on it.
Nice.
So it's good news, man. It's a good month. I'm happy to see cannabis and legalization moving forward. Also, like the one we were talking about yesterday, where they weren't just talking about cannabis.
Yeah.
They were like,
Shrooms and
we're
LSD.
against the drug war. Not just the war on weed, the war on drugs. Full stop.
All drugs.
And you're not seeing people with the balls to say that much anymore. It's just not normal to hear people say that they want to end the entire war on drugs. It's like the war on cannabis is safe because everybody supports it now. So you can support the war on cannabis, ending the war on cannabis.
Yeah, it's mainstream.
So,
But I mean, libertarians caused it to become mainstream. So there's that.
Let's see here. Stern und Drang. I was looking for the meat of the Canadian bill. What about the children? What message? Oh, there we go. The old vote-losing fears and deal-breaking phrases melted away. What about the children? What message are we sending?
Don't die from epilepsy.
You're just introducing another destructive drug into society. Canada can't do this under international treaties. Tata will eat cannabis leaves like sugar-coated lettuce. No. Stop it. Enough. I've never heard of a kid that ate an edible dying.
Yeah, well, it's like that video you watched the other night. You know, you're not gonna overdose.
Right.
It's gonna be okay.
Well, I mean, I've seen reports, like, because I keep up with this stuff, and I've seen reports. There have been a number of times that kids have gotten in and eaten like a whole pack of cannabis gummies, and as awful as they taste, I can't believe a kid would actually like power through how bad they taste to eat that many. Yeah. But evidently there have been cases where kids have eaten like entire cannabis cookies that an adult shouldn't eat the whole thing. But in the end, they took a really long nap and they were perfectly fine and up and jumping and running the very next day. So the what about the children is, well, what about the children? So your daughter got into your cannabis cookies and now she's going to take a really long nap. You know, that's what about the children. Learn to put your stuff up, stupid. Be a grown-up and act like an adult. If you took hydrocodones, you wouldn't leave them down so that your 3-year-old could get into them. Do the same with your medical cannabis, you idiot. Anyway, when we get back tomorrow, we'll have more frivolity, more jokes, and a little stinky pinky. But don't go anywhere, because Free Talk Live's coming up next.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
You're 6 minutes away from a live episode